A long time ago, there was a war that lasted for 4 years. It was fought between 1914 and 1918. It was called World War I. There were two main sides. The Triple Entente, which consisted of France, Russia, and Britain, and the Triple Alliance, which consisted of Germany, Austria, and Italy. Now, what if I told you that during this war, the Russians had beaten the Germans and taken over their entire empire? Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at an alternate history where the Russian Empire not only won World War I, but also conquered the German Empire. All right, let's get back to it. As we all know, World War I was a total stalemate. Millions of men died for two sides to gain a few miles of land. But in this scenario, something interesting happens. The Russian army, after defeating the Austrians in Galicia, turns around and faces the Germans. Instead of fighting on the Eastern Front, the Russians fight the Germans on the Western Front alongside the British and French. With the Russians taking over the Eastern Front, the Germans are now fighting a two-front war. They are fighting the British and French in the West, and they are fighting the Russians in the East. This puts a lot of strain on the German Empire, especially with their navy fighting the Royal Navy in the North Sea. By 1917, the Germans are exhausted. The strain of fighting a war on two fronts has finally taken its toll on them. And with the United States entering the war, things don't look good for the Central Powers. In this scenario, the French, British, and Russians take Berlin. Kaiser Wilhelm II flees to his palace in Doorn, Netherlands, where he lives out the remainder of his life. With the German Empire collapsing, the Russians now have a decision to make. What should they do with their new German brothers? The answer, of course, is to take a big part from their empire. The Russian army, led by General Brusilov, marches into the weakened German states. They took over factories in the north and moved south, taking Galicia Lodomeria from the Austrian Empire as well. Soon, the entire Central Powers was under Russian control. In this alternate history, the Treaty of Versailles is replaced by the Treaty of Moscow. The Germans are forced to give up almost of their overseas colonies to the British and French. Alsace-Lorraine is returned to France. Denmark is taken over by the British. Poland, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are all made into independent states. And that's what Europe looks like after World War I, with the Russian Empire conquering a big part of the German Empire. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I really hope that you've learned something new. If you did, please hit that subscribe button.